NBA playoffs continue on Friday night. 3 more games on Prime. And I've got all 3 free for you. Free plays and analysis, sides, totals, player props. Celtics, 76ers, Lakers, Rockets, and Spurs, Trailblazers coming up free for you right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And if you're liking these breakdowns, I will continue to give you every NBA playoff game every day free here on WagerTalk TV. All I ask is a quick thumbs up like and a positive comment below, and I'll keep the videos coming, including this Saturday and Sunday. 8 games for this Saturday and Sunday, special weekend editions. So make sure you click subscribe and you click the bell here on WagerTalk TV so you can be the first to watch when the free NBA playoff videos are posted each and every day. All right, let's start with your first game Friday night on Prime at 7 Eastern. Celtics and 76ers. You know, I did the preview on Tuesday and told you that I thought Boston was the dominant team in this series, but Philly fit a lot of good bounce-back Game 2 angles, and hey, it played out that way. Outright underdog win is a 13.5-point dog, and the other thing, of course, I told you in that video on Tuesday is that the Celtics do have a tendency to take games off, especially Game 2s. It's amazing how they drop a home game every round of every playoffs, even their championship season in recent years. And Boston started off okay. They were up 3 after the third quarter, but then they got outscored by 11 in the second quarter. They were down by 8 at the half. They trailed by as many as 16 points in this game. Did have a 13-point lead, though, at one point. And they also had a points in the paint edge, 38-32. Only got outscored 12-11 in fast break points. By the way, it was a very slow-paced game. Only 23 fast break points combined. And one thing I've been saying is that Philadelphia's offense, I think, will have struggled to score in this series, and that the Boston defense holds a substantial edge. And I look for Boston to get back on track here in Game 3 after that loss. Good bounce-back situation. They're my preferred side in this series, and whenever you can get my preferred side off a bad performance, it's always worth a look. And, of course, the Celtics live and die by the 3, and I told you the Sixers would probably shoot better from 3. They only hit 4 3-pointers in Game 1. Well, they hit 19 of them in Game 2. They were 19 for 39, 49%. Whereas the Celtics were just 13 for 50, 26%, plus 18 from 3, 49% to 26%. Yes, Boston lives and dies by the 3, but they normally bounce back after a bad shooting performance. If you're going to play it, I would lay it with the Celtics minus the 7.5, the better team here in a focus spot on Friday night. All right, your next game goes at 8 o'clock Eastern, Lakers and Rockets. And by the way, that Celtics series, real quick, look at some player props. If we like the Celtics, probably looking for some guys to go over. Derrick White, I'd mentioned him in Game 2. He did not step up. He had only 8 points, but he took 12 shots, and he took 10 3-pointers. He was only 2 for 10 from 3, and only 3 for 12 overall, but he played almost 39 minutes. White's getting a lot of minutes, so I do like Derrick White up and over his player prop. I'm seeing it around 14 and a half. After several bad games in a row, wouldn't be surprised to see Derrick White maybe break out, but it's dicey. Looking at his last 10 games here, he has scored more than 12 points only once in the last 10. So, yes, 14.5 is pretty pricey still. But he's getting a lot of shot attempts. And if the Celtics play well, as I think they will, Derrick White could have a surprise game on Friday night. All right, your next game is at 8 o'clock Eastern, Lakers, Rockets. And boy, has this been a surprise. Rockets have lost both games outright as a road favorite. Now they return home in a do-or-die Game 3. Don't forget, they won the first game in December on Christmas, and the Lakers have now won 4 straight. But, of course, the Lakers were at full strength in March with both those back-to-back wins in mid-March against Houston. But what's been more impressive is the Lakers have gotten it done here. Back-to-back home dog wins without Doncic, without Reeves. I think Doncic still could return in this series. I'd be surprised to see him on Friday, obviously, because they have a 2-0 lead. They're going to probably rest him more. Reeves is out for the extended future. And the Rockets were about a 4 to 5 point road favorite. Now they're a 10-point home favorite, and it's a rare situation to have a Game 3 home team off back-to-back road favorite losses. Now, a lot of times the Game 3 home teams are down 0-2 because they're the lower seed. But Houston's the better team in this series, and this is a very strange situation. And something I've pointed out to you is that 0-2 teams back at home do perform well in Game 3, and that's usually when it's the inferior team. In this case, we actually get the better team. Something else I've been pointing out to you is that they usually do well in the first half, and boy, has that been inflated in the line here as well. Full game line is -10. First half line for the Rockets is -7. And if you dig even deeper, the first quarter line is -3.5, -4. Sometimes the first half line is higher than the full game line when you get the inferior team down 0-2. But since the Rockets are the better team, they're pricing it a little more normal, but they're still 70% in the first half at -7 versus -10 for the full game. So either way you cut it, I like the Rockets here to bounce back in Game 3. No question that LeBron has to do the heavy lifting with the shorthanded lineup, and that's not a surprise. LeBron so far in the two games has played fairly well. Now, I mentioned, in game one, he only had the 19 points, but he had 13 assists, which means he accounted for well over 40-some points in the game. He came back in game two with 28 points, and he only had 7 assists. I would think they're going to key on LeBron. No question about it. And if I do like the Rockets here, as I do, he probably regresses, but I'm never looking to fade a Hall of Famer or a superstar. So probably a good game to sit off the LeBron props. Maybe look at more assists again since he had a bigger scoring night. It's been kind of zigzagging back and forth. He also got to the free throw line a lot in game number 2. Some other guys for the Lakers that might regress, where there's a lot of candidates. I mean, Merril was 5 for 10, 50% shooting. Kennard and Smart were each 8 for 13 shooting, 5 for 7 and 3 for 6 from three-point range. I think Luke Kennard, also Marcus Smart, both those guys are due to regress. You can play Kennard and Smart both under. One of them probably stays under, if not both. I think the Rockets are going to bring some definite defensive intensity here. Kevin Durant, by the way, did return. He missed game 1, of course. He returned and played 41 minutes, 23 points. I see him listed as questionable again for game 3. And I didn't mention him in the game 2 video. Many of you asked about that in the comments, because I do read the comments and I reply back. It's an unknown factor, but they've played a lot of games without him. I think really either way they're fine. And with them or without him, they lost to the Lakers both times on the road. It's a great setup, though, here, and it looks like a blowout situation. If you're going to play it, I would lay it with the Houston Rockets here in game number 3, down 0-2 back at home. That's currently minus 10 in most locations. I've seen anywhere from 9.5 to 10.5. That line's obviously been jumping around. And the Rocket props are tricky because depending on if Durant plays or not, it really depends on how the other guys do. And, I mentioned Shepard had a big game in game 1. He didn't score in game 2, but he only played 10 minutes. That's because Durant came back. So you really kind of have to know if Durant's in or out before looking at some of these other player props for the Houston Rockets. That game, once again, at 8 o'clock Eastern on Prime. And your third game on Prime, 10:30 Eastern, late night Friday, Spurs and Blazers, and another huge injury situation here. Wembanyama listed as questionable concussion protocol after being injured in game 2. And, of course, that was another monster upset on Tuesday. I mentioned the Sixers. Well, the Blazers won outright as a double-digit dog also. It also helped that Wembanyama was injured in the second quarter when he hit his head when he hit to the ground, hit his head, didn't play the rest of the game. I think he had like 5 points, 4 rebounds at the point. He didn't really do much, and it did enable the Blazers to sneak away with the win. This is a Portland team, keep in mind, that lost to the Spurs in 2 of the 3 regular season games, and it's interesting to point out Wembanyama did not play in any of those 3 regular season games. In fact, the Spurs this year are 12-6, 67% win percentage without Wembanyama. Last year they were just 13-23, 3-8 the year before, but they're also a much better team this year than in years past, a deeper team. 12-6 without him, including 3-0 against the Blazers in the regular season, and they won those games by 11 and 13 points back in April, just a few weeks ago. So it's very recent, same lineups for these squads. So if you're going to play this one, I would lay it with the Spurs minus the 1.5. I would rather have a healthy Wemby in the lineup, and it's a concussion protocol, so he's healthy otherwise. And in fact, they even asked the staff, they said there's no other injuries. You have to sit 48 hours, so he could return at this point if he's cleared. Whether he goes or not, I think there's some really good value now locking in the minus 1.5. Line open 3, and I'm doing this video on Thursday night, do it nice and early for you, which means by the time you watch this on Friday, he might have been upgraded or downgraded one way or the other. That line might move, but I'm currently seeing the Spurs minus 1.5 as of Thursday evening, and that's with Wemby kind of at 50-50 questionable. I like the Spurs either way. They're by far the much better team in this series. We're getting them off a loss, and as I said, they were 3-0 in the regular season without Wemby, so whether he plays or not, I think it's go time for the Spurs. By the way, I also like the over, especially if he is out, because they're a much weaker defensive team without him. The over-under sitting steady at 220.5. He just became the youngest player in NBA history to win Defensive Player of the Year, unanimously also the first player ever to win unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. So you can make an argument he's one of the best defenders ever already at age 22. So yes, you would lean over 220.5 without him. And even if he plays, he might be limited and not 100% on the court at all times. I like the over in this game as well between the Spurs and Blazers on Friday night. As far as player props, really can't touch the San Antonio props without knowing if Wembanyama is going to play. He had 35 points in game 1. He only had 5 points in game 2. On the Portland side, I look for the Spurs to clamp down on them, and I do prefer the Spurs in this game, but I'm leaning over in the game as well, as I said, which makes it a little tricky, because normally your play against team, you're looking for some under props, but I think the Portland Trailblazers could get some offense going in this game. Henderson took 17 shots at 31 points in Game 2. They might key on him. Guy I mentioned and also did not shoot well again was Drew Holiday. He was actually involved with that injury. He got tangled up with Wembanyama when he was hurt, drew the foul in the play. He was only 6 for 17 shooting, but he played 39 minutes. And if you recall, I believe it was back, and by the way, I said 111-98. That was the first playoff game. I misspoke earlier. The regular season games without Wembanyama, they beat him in late November by 13. That was the one I was thinking of. And they lost to him by 5 in January, and then they beat him by 11 recently in April. And then, of course, with him, they won by 13 also in that playoff game. Drew Holiday, though, has not shot the ball well, but he's been getting a lot of shot attempts, and that's what I like to look for some bounce-back player props. He was only 4 for 15 shooting in Game 1, 1 for 7 from 3, ended up with just 9 points. And then the next game the other night, he was just 6 for 17, 2 for 6 from 3, ended up with 16 points. He's still hovering around his over-under, even without shooting well. I see him priced around 16, even 15.5 in some spots. He was 15.5 the last couple games and still got to 16 in Game 2 and didn't shoot well. So if Holiday shoots anywhere near his norm, the amount of looks he's getting, he should get up and over 15.5 to 16 points in Game 3 on Friday night. Hey, there you go. Deep dive, well, quick dive, half deep dive, shallow water for you on all 3 of the NBA playoff games Friday. Of course, all 3 are on Prime. We love the Amazon Prime games. NFL were so good, over 80% this year. Let's see if we can keep it going with the NBA Prime games this playoff season. And don't forget, 4 Saturday games, a lot of them on national TV, 4 Sunday games as well. I will break those down for you. All I ask is a quick thumbs up like, and if you have an extra second or two, a positive comment below. More positive comments, the more thumbs up likes, the more views, the more free play videos I continue to do every day here on WagerTalk TV. So make sure you share with a friend. Sharing is caring. Tell a friend about WagerTalk TV as well. We're so close to 250,000 subscribers. 250,000 subscribers. Can't be wrong. Make sure you're one of them. Click subscribe. And also click that bell as well when you subscribe so you get an instant alert when those Saturday and Sunday videos are posted this weekend for free here on WagerTalk TV. Now, when I'm giving you every game, sides, totals, player props on every game this postseason, obviously a lot of these are light leans only. If you play the light TV leans, hey, 1% of bankroll is appropriate. But some of these games do make my client best bet card, and those are strong 4% plays. And those are the games you need to have if you're serious about building your bankroll and taking a true investment approach. Get my strong best bets for Friday in both the NBA playoffs and Major League Baseball. Get them every day on my page, along with the bonus free play. That's right. Last cut for my best bet card, my strongest opinion, goes up free for everybody. So go check out the free play for Friday, the strong best bets, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. And while you're there, check out some special offers. And keep in mind, it doesn't matter if you get one play, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or even 1 year. Everybody's getting the same plays. I have one set of best bets. They're my personal best bets, and I send them to all my clients instantly at the same time every day. 1 day is 39. 3 days is 69. Nope, 6 days is 69 because the buy 3 days, get 3 days free is still available. Also, 1 month is normally $2.99. Nope, it's just $1.99. Promo code SM100. Instant $100 discount on the 30-day all access. Longer term packages, that's how you really start saving and getting the cost per play down to just a couple dollars a day. Summer Spectacular, 3.5 months still to go in the Summer Spectacular. Gets you all the way through August 31st. Works out to about $5 a day. You know, we get excited for $5 Tuesday where every play is $5. How about getting every day for $5 for the next 3.5 months with that Summer Spectacular? That works out to like $2.5, $3 a game all summer long through August 31st. Obviously, the rest of the NBA playoffs, a ton of baseball, plus that August month of football as well. Or if you want to get all of next year's college and pro football seasons, all of next year's college basketball season, all of next year's NBA into the playoffs, rest of this year's playoffs, rest of year's baseball into baseball next year. You get the point. 365 days straight all access for about $1 a play because the instant $500 discount is still available on the 1-year all access pass plus a bonus 25% coupon. Look, once again, doesn't matter if you get 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year. Everybody's getting the same best bets, the same games I'm using. It's always been that way since I started 30 years ago as a full-time professional sports bettor and handicapper. If I'm using a play, my clients get it. Tons of special offers right now. I just mentioned them. You don't have to memorize them. They're all listed on my page right now, along with that daily free play and my strong best bets for Friday. Check it out, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And hey, get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. I keep forgetting to mention also, I love the playoffs, but the regular season was fantastic as well. In fact, I'm number one this year in NBA Best Bet Profit at WagerTalk, and I'm number one all time in NBA Best Bet Profit. So you might want to pay attention here in the playoffs, as I love this time of year and baseball is heating up as well. Get there quicker, wt.buzz/SM. Thumbs up, like, comment below, click subscribe, click the bell for instant alerts. And also remember to follow me on social media on X and Instagram at Steve Merril. 2 R's, 1 L. You know the deal. MERRIL at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to WagerTalk TV because you also know there's more free play videos coming up next.